welcome to another edition of Halftime Conversation, CFP National Championship Edition. I'm your boy Cam Moss, joined by Craig Jordan as always, and we finally here. We got national championship, and as of now, Michigan is in the lead, 17-10. And we're just here to share our thoughts, what we've seen in the first half, and what we think each team can do in the second half to, get that national championship.
Yeah, first things first. This is off topic, but Ayo, I think it's time for ESPN to let Lee Corso, let him retire off into the sunset. I couldn't understand shit he was saying in the pregame show, bro. Kirk Herbstreit was helping him out and everything, and I just felt bad, bro. I felt bad. I was like, bro, I know you didn't put in a lot of work for ESPN and college football, but it might be time to let it go.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't watch the pregame joint. I was busy doing some other stuff. I know national championship kickoff at 6:30. Game won't really start until about 6:45, 6:50. So that was that on that. That was that on that. But let's get into the game, man. 17-10. Michigan looked dominant to start off, like dominant, controlling the line of scrimmage. Donovan Edwards rose back from the dead for 2 long touchdowns. I did not see that coming. But you know what I'm saying, they were able to jump off to a 14-0 lead. Washington got the field goal and then ended up getting a touchdown at the end of half that they really, really needed and held Michigan to a field goal before that. So Washington, they got some momentum back coming into the second half, not all of it, but they definitely needed that touchdown and that stop.
Yeah, Michigan gave Washington 2 quick haymakers, bro. And for a lot of teams, you would have think that was gonna be it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking in my mind, oh, this is about to get ugly quick and early, just like last year's national championship game. But thank God, we are talking about Michael Penix and the Washington Huskies, who have played from behind a lot this season, and they do still have a high power offense, even with Dylan Johnson barely being able to, get off the line of scrimmage. They still have a high powered offense, and I knew that even them being down by 2 scores, I think that they could still get back into the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I was thinking too. And I wanted to count them out. I was like, well, Michigan's offense isn't explosive per se. Well, isn't quick strike. They're more of a methodical. They want to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and score that way. And then, of course, Washington can score from anywhere on the field. So I know that it still gave them a chance. And then Dylan Johnson, look, man, I understand that it is the national championship, but that man do not need to be on the field.
Yeah, it's time to let it go, bro.
Yeah,
It's
he do
time to,
not need to. The first play of
yeah.
the game, he had to go to the tent.
Yeah, it's time.
Like,
And he has some nasty. He had. I didn't know that he had a knee injury too. I know it was the foot that was really bothering him from last game. And also all season, bro. Dylan Johnson's been hurt all season, bro. Honestly, and so yeah, I'm thinking he can't really hit the cuts like you've seen him hit him before, and that's throwing off the offense. So I think it might be time to call it good.
yeah, his cuts look nasty, and I don't mean that in a good way. Like on that last goal line drive, them cuts didn't look good at all. But yeah, but like I understand it's the natty. I think he needs to take a seat and let the healthy guys give it a go. Because he's like what 45%, if that.
Kirk Herbstreit on the broadcast says 70%. I thought that was way too damn high.
That's BS. That's BS.
Yeah.
That's TV fluff. He's 45, 50%. If your next guy at 100% is better than 50% of Dylan Johnson, there's bigger issues.
Yeah, I think in that 50%, I think 20% of that is painkillers.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's probably getting shot up right now as we speak. Definitely, I think that. But for me, like what Michigan is doing on offense, like this will sound weird, but like what they're doing up front, they're finding exotic, creative ways to control the line of scrimmage and give Washington different looks. They're coming in what I call the barge package, where they're going 6-0 linemen deep. Yeah, when they come, they're going 6-0 linemen deep. They're motioning their tackles and things like that. They're finding different ways to pull those guards of tackles, different ways to pull those tight ends and things like that to control the line of scrimmage. I thought that was really creative, giving them different looks. So it looks like their coordinator went in and revamped some stuff from the Bama game and put some new stuff in front of Washington, which I think definitely that first quarter, I think a big reason why we saw a couple of those long runs.
Definitely. And Washington's defense was shook a little bit, especially after those 2 long runs. But they did settle in, and I think was going to be the difference maker for the Huskies in the second half if they were to pull off this win against Michigan, which I don't know, bro. You know, and I've counted them out before and they've won. So maybe I should continue to count them out. But what's really going to have to change when they're facing this Michigan offense is, you know, they're doing really good in the pass game. Jabbar Muhammad is doing really good. He's got a pass breakup, I think. But they got to
Got
control
hurt.
the line. He did get hurt, but I think he came back into the game at the end of
Okay,
the
he did.
second half.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're definitely going to have to control first and second down and get this Michigan team in situations where they have to pass the ball on third down. If they're not going to be able to do that, it's going to be a long day. And I think Michigan is probably going to want to settle in here in the second half and run the football, run it, pound, ground. But it's important for Washington to come off this first possession with some points coming into the second half. So we'll see.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like that offensive line is going to want to lean on Washington's defensive line, and then on the flip side, I want to see Michigan's defense make Michael Penix a little bit more comfortable. I want to see like I understand two different players. Like you're not gonna blitz Penix like you would Milrow, but I do want to see some. I want to see a little bit more pressure. You can make him a little bit more uncomfortable. There's been a couple plays where he's been able to settle in. There's also been a coverage bust. Roma Duze should have had a touchdown earlier. That was a bad ball by I was about to call him Milrow. That was a bad ball by Michael Penix. So I just want them to clean some of that up. Don't let Penix just sit and try to dime him up. Like right now, Michigan's playing a lot of zone. They're letting Washington get everything in front of them. And not get deep. I think Washington's going to eventually try to take one of those deep shots. Because I think that's where that pressure will come in, make him uncomfortable, make him think twice before he gets comfortable in that pocket.
Yeah, they definitely got to speed it up. You know what I'm saying? I think the one thing that people don't talk about with this Washington team is they're perfectly fine with the clock being bled and going down to the last second when it comes to the play clock. So like I think if Michigan wants to hold this Washington team off, they've got to make sure that their timing is completely thrown off. Like speed up Michael Penix's throws, give him some different looks. But yeah, at the same time, this could definitely be a 17-17 game. That's why I'm not counting Washington out quite yet. We've seen Michael Penix all year make throws when it counts. And also, a lot of people don't talk about these dogs usually come out as a different team in the second half, especially in games like this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Kalen DeBoer is in the locker room saying to those boys right now, but I know he's got something that's going to shoot the adrenaline in their arm coming second half.
Okay. And so my last question for you before we get off of this thing, um, who wins this game and why?
Man, uh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
You have a half worth of work that you can go off of and make your assessment from there. And for context, his original pick was Washington.
I think okay. I think my journalistic integrity is saying Michigan because they just have the more dominant defense, to be honest with you. And I'm a firm believer, and one of my core principles when it comes to football is defense wins championship games. And you know what I'm saying? I think that even though Washington will still make this a close game, I don't know. I think Michigan might pull away. Michigan is one defensive turnover away, which I think they can get from this game being over.
Yeah, and I hate to double down on that, but my original pick was Washington for those who care. I mean, oh my gosh, my original pick was Michigan for those who care. And I'm going to double down on that and say Michigan is going to win this game. Like I said, I think they're going to come out in the second half and just lean. They're just going to lean on Washington offensively. I think they're going to wear out that defensive line. I think they're going to bust a couple big runs up open. And then in the fourth quarter, they'll just run that clock out. And then defensively, like you said, I think they're just more aggressive. I think they'll dial up the pressure a little bit more, get Penix uncomfortable, and get a couple stops. I think they're a touchdown or two from just sealing it. So I'm going to go with Michigan.
Yeah, so you're saying Harbaugh gets his first ring tonight? Ring in
Harbaugh,
general.
yes. Harbaugh gets his first ring. Yes.
All right, all right. Quick question. Let's say Harbaugh gets the ring tonight. You know what I'm saying? Are the NFL is NFL surely going to come calling then?
They're already calling. They call every year. It's about if he wants to go or not.
All right.
That's all that is. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the halftime conversations once again. I'm Cam Mars, Craig Jordan. See you guys after the game. We out.